101 class, otherwise known as what I've affectionately called the spiel, for lack of a better term. If anybody has questions, do me a favor and keep them in your mind, and I'll answer as many of them as I can at the end of the class. This is something I learned from the teacher. Approximately 19 years ago, give or take, I wasn't there, the ECS was formed. It was formed by a group of people who wanted to uphold the ideas of the medieval way of life. It included all the nice things, arts, helping the crown, and of course, everybody's favorite, combat. Wow, no questions? Cool. The ECS has grown in some ways. Some people would like to think that it's improved. Personally, I think it's improved a lot. That's just me. Basically, we are from the years 800 to 1650. We are primarily European, although there are a few minor exceptions now and again. Scroogey. I can name names. Yeah. If anybody, again, has questions, just remember, wait for it. There have been a few discussions about recreation versus recreation. Main thing is that we do not recreate with the majority of some wars and events, specific time, clashes, battles, feasts, etc. What we try to do is recreate the more fun aspects of the Middle Ages, doing it in a safe and controlled environment. Safety. Well, I try to be safe, honest, I do.
I was thinking control.
What? That's what the marshals do. We're on that later. Thank you. Good saying. Apologies for the notes. Territories of Galandor. There are two at the moment. Solaris. Well, there's three. Okay, there's three. Apologies. I keep thinking that because you're so far away, you're not. I always think of yourself as your own entity.
Back.
And it's not a backstab, honest. There's
Stop
Northwatch.
inserting foot into mouth and get it.
I like chewing on my thigh. There's Northwatch. Yes. There is Altura. Yeah. And there's Solaris. Northwatch is the newest one, however, it is gloriously blessed by our reigning monarchs. Solaris is the most populous one of Galandor at the moment.
Actually, Altura is.
Really?
Yes. Paid-wise. Yes.
I didn't say it.
I guess because most participating members.
I stand humbly corrected. Most of the time I have seen events held perfectly well in, seeing as how I have not been to Northwatch yet. I have seen glorious events in both Altura as well as Solaris. Numerous knightings in Solaris, a few in Altura that I've been to. I'm sure that they're great. Then we come down to the organization of the kingdom. We have the glorious, as I said, king and queen, elected and or contested with crown wars. We also have the board of directors. This is where a lot of people get confused. Myself entirely true. Board of directors help with the mundane day-to-day aspects. King and queen have a significant amount of power, and they also act as our guides, our gentle nudgers, the people who yell at us when we really, really need it. Below them, we have the territorial estates, which are made up of the households, the house lords, house ladies, barons, in that instances, and then the populace. It's fun, it's okay. It's fun, it's helping me keep time. Households and estates. If you have 5 of your best friends or enemies, and they think that you're doing a great job of doing whatever it is you're doing, you can join together to form a household. Hopefully you will find one person to lead it. If you have more than 12, then you have a second in command. When you have one house lord or lady, you get 1 vote on the estates. You have 2 people who are in charge, you get 2 votes. Please don't make yourselves fight among yourselves, because then you just null the point. Is it water or is it lemonade? Did you drink it all? Oh, much.
Do you need something to drink?
No, I'm fine. You have landed titles, you have non-landed titles. Non-landed titles is something that has been graciously awarded by either the territorial ruler or the majesties themselves. The smallest and simplest is the Lord of the Court. Simply a simple silver, no more than 1/2 inch wide circlet. Eventually, you may be able to become graced with a stepping down title of something, say, as magnanimous as a baron. Karen, if you'd be so proud. Okay, stand up and show us your pretty shiny thing. Thank you. You can also become marquess, marquise, marchionesses. I pronounced it right. I practiced all night. All night. Irish. That's Scottish. Sorry. You're north, I'm south. If you're the lord of the house, you also have the title of the house lord, and you also have the right to wear one blackish. It's black. This is what happens in the Solarian sun. Fades things. To wear this in court, as in also in the presence of the royalty and things like that. Again, if you have questions, please feel free, because I hate speaking in public. Thank you.
I don't believe that.
Okay. Points to knighthood. You can become a knight in one of 3 ways. Combat, and you wear a nifty blue belt. Ministry, I was pointing at you. Ministry. And then, if I carefully wait enough time, you get to wear a mantle, like our lovely arts knight that we have in Solaris. Everything that you do will account for points towards knighthood in one of the aspects. It is a long, arduous, periodically bloody event towards getting your knighthood. However, it's very arduous, you understand. However, it is well worth it. The biggest thing is to remain humble. It's the living problem about it. Thank you. We're going to start with what I think is the hardest one first. Ministry projects. And once you have the required amount of points to be considered to become a knight minister, you then have to do what is a ministry project. This can be something from being a glorious webmaster, holding an office, being in charge of the territory, holding a large event. I was getting to the event thing. Holding a large event like Queen's Tea, or Banner War, or Coronation Feast.
She wants her 12th night.
And of course, 12th night. Thank you. That's in the feast side. Okay. Arts. You can also do an arts masterwork. This is something that many people have called me late at night and screamed at me, because I'm a good venting person. Like, why didn't they like it? Was it me? Was it something I said? Was it something I didn't say? Etc. 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 This is an arts masterwork. Is something done in period, using period techniques, period styles, and done in a really, really spiffy way. Can I borrow the scroll? Leave it there.
Don't drop it.
I will not drop it. I wish I had mine. See, I have this standard. This is a lovely example. I actually thought that this was deemed masterwork. It was never deemed masterwork?
No, it was not.
It was not?
Nope. That wasn't Anderson's, that was, hers was mine.
Okay. Seeing as how I'm not an artisan, which is why I'm not asked to judge masterworks, I'm okay with that. However, I think it's really stiff. One day I'll have mine. I didn't drop it. The last one, the most painful one of becoming a knight, is combat knighthood. You have to enter a tournament in which at least one combat knight has entered. You do not have to face that knight in combat. However, periodically it just seems that I always do in the first round. You have to win that tournament. That's all.
This is glaring at you, Galen.
It's not a glare. It's not a glare. All right, it's a glare. However,
Delta Beta Sigma.
I know. However, I know for a fact that every time I may have not achieved that nightly list, it just means that I am that much more focused and determined to get it the next time I face that lovely combat person. Oh, yes, if you are effectively deemed a knight at some point in time and you have a lovely ceremony, which could be another ministry project for somebody else, it went well, all things considered. You are then able to take a squire. Please do not ever make your squire a lackey. Don't make them clean your armor, that would be bad. Squires are yours to train and teach. They are there to learn from you as much as you can. Teach them. If you do not have something that you can teach them, or if they ask a question you do not know the answer to, hopefully you will find someone to get that answer. Most of the time, squires, show and tell, are designated by having a red belt or a red baldric with their knight's device on the bottom. This is why, if he ever becomes a problem, I can go, I need to look at that, and then you go and talk to their knight. I've only seen that actually happen once. Red mantles are the same way. It just denotes, I was getting that. I can't get you, it's big and red. I'm just getting there. It's just more fun of a target to pick up. Basic garb and equipment. Yes, this is the really fast version, I'm sorry. For combat. Actually, seeing as for combat, basic equipment is, for men, athletic sporter, 3-weapon mask, coif, back of head protection, knees, elbows, gloves, long sleeve shirt, closed-toed shoes. Basically, that's only, you will use a gorget only if there's a pole weapon on the field. However, it is highly encouraged that you use a gorget. It's also encouraged that women wear breast protection. Highly encouraged. Basically, if you're fighting, you should have no skin showing. If at some point in time you decide to join the combat field and a marshal, who we'll be discussing them later, says you need to leave the field because there's a problem, don't take it out on the marshal. They're just doing their job. Their job is to make sure that you stay safe. Also remember this, the marshal has the right and the privilege to toss you off the combat field for any reason, especially if you lose your temper or are about to pass out through the heat exhaustion. Any questions?
You know about the heat exhaustion, don't you?
Yes, I do know about that heat exhaustion. Taking a large step to not let that happen again.
Good.
Everything's spinning around.
Harder next
Really
time.
empty. What, Garrett?
The event was moved because of that.
Yes. Well, I was speaking of something else. That's okay. Any other questions? Wait for it. Okay then. There will be a quiz later.